Billy Horschel made a huge mistake when trying to fix his swing and undergo complete swing changes. As we all know, Billy Horschel's had a fairly successful career on the PGA Tour. He has 7 wins, has been ranked very high in the overall world golf rankings, and has obviously made a lot of money and seen great success. But after Billy's most recent win in June of 2022 at the Memorial, he began to struggle with his golf, and instead of grinding through it, tightening up the short game and making some small tweaks with the golf swing, he decided that the effort that would go into that didn't make enough sense, and he and his coach Todd Anderson decided to do a full overhaul of his golf swing. Now, doing a full overhaul of your golf swing isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, it should be avoided at all costs unless it really comes down to nothing else making sense but making an entire change of your golf swing. Changing the entire golf swing is intrinsically very difficult, very time-consuming, very taxing, and mentally, especially for a professional golfer, it can really affect the confidence that you have in your game. This is especially prominent with someone like Billy Horschel, who was playing PGA Tour events in the midst of completely overhauling his golf swing, and that's when we saw his emotional interview after shooting in the 80s. It just seemed like mentally and physically nothing was going right for Billy. So why was this? A lot of people have made full overhaul changes to their golf swing, and they've been successful. Well, for Billy, it comes down to making 2 specific mistakes. The first mistake that Billy and his coach made was they started looking at video of his golf swing back when he was probably at his peak in 2013, 2014, when he went on that run in 2014 and won the Tour Championship. So they started looking at that golf swing and figuring out how to reassemble and make that golf swing Billy's current golf swing. While this concept may sound good in theory, it actually can be a little bit dangerous because Billy has changed a lot in 10 years. He's changed the way that he approaches golf, the way that he understands it, the way that his body is in general. He has different strengths, flexibilities, whatnot. So trying to copy and recreate what he was can really be dangerous. This mentality would be analogous to someone at home saying, I want to swing like Jon Rahm because he's really good, but Jon Rahm swings the way that he does for a number of reasons. The reason that his golf swing is very short is because he has club foot. The reason that he can hit the ball so far with a short swing is because he's a big, strong guy. Now, I'm not saying that this is directly the same as what Billy's doing because at the end of the day, Billy Horschel in 2014 is now Billy Horschel in 2023. He's the same person, just different strengths and core competencies. So never look at a swing and say, this is something that I'm going to fully copy. Absolutely learn from things, make slight tweaks based on what some of the best golfers in the world are doing. Absolutely, that's always recommended. But to say that you want to make a carbon copy can be very dangerous. The other big mistake that Billy made was trying to do too much in the first place. Making a complete overhaul of your golf swing, you have to rethink everything. The takeaway, the grip, your stance, the rotational aspects through impact. And in doing so, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and lost in some of your mechanics. What I mean by being lost in some of your mechanics is if you're really focusing on 5 different things, how many of those things are you actually focusing on? When you're really focused on a takeaway and just your takeaway alone, you have nothing else to focus on. So your mind is always on your takeaway. But if you step up to a ball and you say, all right, I'm going to be thinking about my head positioning, my grip, my stance, my takeaway, and my rotation through impact, and also my wrist release through the ball. How many of those things are you actually going to be conscious of? So whenever you're making tweaks to your swing, keep them to just that. Tweaks. I'd really hate for anyone watching these videos to think that they need to change everything just because Rory McIlroy is doing it on tour or because their current swing isn't doing what it needs to be doing. Tweaks are paramount. Making consistent, productive tweaks is an excellent way to improve your scoring. And also, for so many golfers, if you're shooting, in the hundreds and you want to be shooting in the 90s, a lot of golfers say, all right, it's time to change my golf swing. But at the end of the day, you can shave a lot of strokes off your game by just practicing your putting and chipping, maybe doing some slight tweaks to your iron play. I would venture to say that the majority of people who are higher handicap golfers, who need to be playing, who want to be shooting lower scores, they do not need to turn to a swing change. They just need to do some tweaks and also really focus on the scoring opportunities 50 yards and in. I hope you learned a little bit from this video. I'm actually very happy with the way that Billy has been playing recently. I love his outlook on golf. Billy's personally one of my favorite golfers and one of my favorite golf personalities. I'm a big fan of his and I hope to see him in the winner's circle soon. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.